Hello everyone, it's Stephanie, your CSA coach, and it is week 23A of our CSA shares for the 2024 season. After this week, we have one more week left. The only announcement is that our CSA pre-registration is open for next season, so make sure you are registering, adding your whatever add-ons you want to add to your share, because some of the things will sell out. So the quicker you register and set everything up for next season, the better off you'll be. Jumping right into this week's share, we have tons of greens. We have bok choy again. Bok choy is stored in the fridge in a large Debbie Meyer green bag. It is enormous. Great just simply sauteed as a side. Awesome in stir fries. You can, when you go to cook it, you want to separate the white part. All of it's edible, but you separate the white part from the leaves. The white part takes a little bit longer to cook than the leaves. So you want to throw the white part in first, saute that with some onions and garlic, and then throw the leaves in. Also in stir fry, same thing. That's going to take a little bit longer. But great in stir fries, great just simply sauteed as a side. We have beets. Our beets, the very first thing you want to do is remove those greens, store them in a separate bag. The greens can be sauteed. They can be used in veggie broth. We juiced them last week, so I juiced a bunch of the greens just to pull out some of the nutrition and use them up because we were doing a lot of traveling and had a lot going on. So we threw them in a green juice last week. But great sauteed as a side. And just use our green PDF, our sauteed greens PDF for a basic formula for sauteing greens. The bulbs, store them in a separate Ziploc bag. They are great. You can actually eat them raw. I like shredding them and throwing them on salad raw. Amazing pickled, fantastic roasted. If you have not tried the honey roasted beet sandwich, it's delicious, and the bread that we received in the sourdough bread share is fantastic. So you could do the honey roasted beets with, and instead that was arugula, but we got spinach this week. You could throw spinach on instead of the arugula if you don't have any arugula left. But try that if you haven't tried it. We have turnips. Turnips are the same thing. We're gonna remove those greens. The greens can be sauteed. They can be thrown in salads. Most often they're cooked down, stored separately in a Debbie Meyer green bag or a Ziploc bag in the fridge. They can also be used for veggie broth. Your bottoms, store them separately in a Ziploc bag or a Debbie Meyer green bag. They can be eaten raw, they can be sliced thin on salads, they can be shredded and put into like a slaw. They can be roasted, they can be grilled, they can also be pickled. We have celery. Celery from the farm is amazing. You want to eat the entire thing and use the entire thing. So don't pull off the leaves and throw them away. It's fantastic in broth, amazing for soups. We're going to store it in a Debbie Meyer green bag in the fridge. You can also there's a celery soup on the website. You could do just a simple celery salad where it's raw. So just kind of adding a little bit of a vinaigrette, a simple vinaigrette to dress it up, use that. But if you're not gonna use it, chop it up, freeze it, and use it in your soups. That's our celery. We have escarole. Escarole stored in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag or a large Ziploc bag. Escarole is used a lot in soups. It's used it pairs really well with beans. You can saute it, do a simple sauteed side of escarole. Escarole wasn't one of my favorite vegetables, and then a year or two ago, I developed a recipe where we used escarole in a salad, and it is phenomenal. Not something that I ever thought I would like. It pairs really well with dates and apples in that salad, so you'll find that recipe on the website. So if you have not tried that, please make sure you try that. So that's escarole. We have broccoli raab. Broccoli raab is stored in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag or a Ziploc bag. Most often just sauteed as a side. It's my husband's favorite green. It is a little bit bitter, but it sautés really well with onions and garlic. We can serve it as a side with eggs for breakfast or with a steak or grilled chicken for dinner. You can eat it raw, but it's most often sauteed. So that's broccoli raab. We have our salad mix. Salad mix is stored in the fridge just like this. Once you're ready to use it, wash it, dry it, lightly dress it. You can add a bunch of other vegetables to it or just simply use that as the side. And take a look at our salad board PDF. You could do a nice fall-inspired salad board. So that can be used. We have spinach stored exactly the same way. So store it just like this in the fridge. Once you're ready to use it, soak it, dry it, clean it up. The leaves are really large, so you might want to chop them, but this can be used as a salad base. That's what we used last week's for, or you can saute it and use it as a side. You can throw it on sandwiches. The broccoli raab can actually be thrown on sandwiches. I swear my husband gets a sandwich with broccoli raab on it. And I can't remember what, maybe chicken cutlet and broccoli raab, something like that. Spinach you can also use in like a pesto. You can make green cubes with it. You can also use it in smoothies. Two things left. We have butternut squash. Butternut squash is stored in a cool, dry place. It will last for a while. It is fantastic roasted. You can boil it. Once you cook it down, so peel it, chop it up, cube the flesh, and roast it or boil it, and then puree it, you can freeze it to preserve it. It can be used in baked goods, kind of in place of pumpkin, but lots of ways. It's most often used in a soup and probably will be showcased in this week's recipe, so stay tuned for that. And last but not least, we have our sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes can be stored just like this. So they're not completely clean. You can throw them in a paper bag and store them in a cool, dry place, just like this. If you want to wash them, make sure you wash them and completely dry them before putting them in storage. Once you're ready to use them, clean them really well. You can peel them. You can boil them. You can leave the skin on. You can roast them whole. You can actually grill them. We did a Cajun sweet potato fry. That was, I believe, last week's recipe or the week before. I get them all confused, but that was a recent recipe on the website. You can make like a hash. You can do, there was mention of a sweet potato pie, which I've never tried, but a lot of people were mentioning that in our Facebook group. So if you want to try something different, try that. That is it for this week. If there's any questions, make sure you tag me in the post on Facebook, and please make sure you register for next season. I will see you all next week.